If you are building new or renovating, then taking action on what you learn in this short training video will be the most valuable thing you do for years. Why? That is a big statement, but I can say that because it will help you avoid the number one most costly mistake people make when doing a building project. Have you ever heard the term on time and on budget? If not, this is a concept that's an important one. On time and on budget is a term used in all big projects from construction to IT to building roads. All projects are trying to meet their target. The term refers to completing a project within the planned time frame and within the planned budget. Many times this does not happen, and for your project, that is bad news. There are many reasons projects might not come in on time and on budget, but by far the number one reason is lack of planning in the early phases. Here's the thing, at some point in your project, you are going to discover a way to make it better. That is a given, it always happens. It could be a design change, it could be a window or door in a better place, it could be the layout of a room. It might be a design that saves you money or dramatically improves the livability or the feeling of the space. But sooner or later, you're going to want to make a change, and when shortcuts are taken early on, people rush into a final design concept and then they don't discover all the options they had or what they really wanted until the concrete has already been poured. Without getting a full needs and options review conducted before the builder gets on site, homeowners regularly shortchange their design, which ultimately limits your project's fullest potential. Late discovery of your real needs and options leaves you crying, "If I had only known." That is why we created the Needs and Options Review. There are 6 phases during a project when changes can be made: needs and options, concept design, preliminary drawing set, bidding and negotiation, contractor selection, building documentation, construction documents, and the construction phase. If you discover better options early on, then you can envision your project's fullest potential. Make your discoveries late and you will pay exponentially more. Or worse, live in a house where you spend a lot of money and settled for a lesser design option. Here's an indication of how costs change the later you make the changes. Needs and options and concept design 1 times, preliminary drawing set 3 times, building documentation, construction documents 15 times. During the construction phase, 50 times the costs. Picture tells 1,000 words. With the Needs and Options Review, you will never have to utter those tragic words, "If only I had known." Take a look at this graph. Time is on the bottom on the x-axis. As time progresses, the opportunity to envision your project's full potential decreases. This is common sense. It's a lot easier to change the location of a concrete footing before it has been put in the ground. Now this graph represents the relative cost to make a change. As you can see, as time progresses, changes get increasingly more expensive. The best time to make a change and maximize your project's full potential is at the beginning of a project. This is why a thorough needs and options review should be your very first step. As Abraham Lincoln said, "If I had 9 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 6 sharpening my axe." Abe Lincoln understood that proper preparation early on can save a lot of time and effort in the long run. Or put into common modern terms, measure twice and cut once. When we overlay these 2 charts, you can see that at the beginning of a project, the opportunity to explore your project's potential is the greatest, and the cost to make changes is least. It is at this point in the process that we want to thoroughly explore all of your options. This is why a proper needs and options saves time and money. You may be asking, do I need a needs and options review? Here's a quick test to find out. Take out a pen and paper and give yourself a score for each of the following questions. Out of 10, how clear are you on exactly what you need? Out of 10, how aware are you of all the various options your site will accommodate? Out of 10, how confident are you that you are aware of all the legal requirements? Out of 10, how aware are you of the process you will need to have in place to get the project completed on time and on budget? Out of 10, how confident are you that your budget will achieve your needs? Don't worry about not being able to answer these questions yet. The Needs and Options Review will allow us to fill in the gaps and get you ready to move into the design phase. The first step you'll need to complete is the Needs and Options Review. We designed this process a few years ago because we saw a huge issue in the construction industry of people starting design and construction before they had done their research and homework. We would see many building projects going over time and over budget. The consequences of inadequate upfront research of needs and options is like building a house on bad foundations. The foundations are the most important part of the whole house because everything is built on top. It's very expensive to change the foundations once you have started to build on top of them, but it's very easy to change them in the beginning when the lines are just being drawn. This is what makes us different. We spend more time on the research than most other firms who rush their clients into a design solution. We take a different approach. In fact, we will only work with clients who are prepared to do the Needs and Options Review properly. We will not rush this step because it only causes overruns later if we take shortcuts and don't establish solid foundations. The Needs and Options Review is the most important step because it lays the foundation for a successful project. Once complete, the valuable insights you gain from this first phase can be used by us or any other architect and will ultimately produce a better result for you. Can I save money by not paying for a Needs and Options Review? Sure, you could skip this step or meet with someone who gives you a few ideas for free before rushing into the design phase. Not investing the time for a full Needs and Options Review in depth can be the most expensive decision you make during your project. The most cost-effective time to discover all of your options is now. To book your Needs and Options session, complete the form below. Someone will contact you shortly to schedule a suitable time. Thank you for watching this brief training video. We look forward to working with you soon. Complete the form below now to book your Needs and Options Review.